Well, hello, Fearless, and welcome to another Tactical Tuesday. It is April the 2nd, 2024. Time is flying and spring is hitting a lot of Canada. So welcome and thanks for joining us. And thanks for saying hello as you come on. I know a lot of you will do that as soon as we get connected. So great to see everybody that's going to be joining us tonight. We have a really cool topic and a whole new month ahead of us, guys. And our month is going to be centered around taking action. Actually doing something when it comes to our real estate investment. And, a lot of times we might get stuck in certain areas and not actually take action, not go out there and do that first action step, get closer to our first investment property or maybe our next investment property. And so we're going to be focused around taking action this entire month. And that's really what our Tactical Tuesdays are going to be on. So I have come up with 7 different reasons why I have seen people stall or not take action. So we're going to discuss those, what you can do to get over those. So maybe it'll be similar to the way you felt. We're going to ask for some of your opinions as well, and we're here to answer any questions you have. All right, guys, so it's going to be an awesome Tactical Tuesday. We'll get started here in 1 minute.
Hey guys, it's Corey and Tiffany, and we're the co-founders of Investor Life.
And we help investors scale their portfolios using other people's money. Fearless, welcome to another Tactical Tuesday.
Welcome to another Tactical Tuesday. We have a really cool topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. This, guys, I hope is a scenario that shows you the power of leveraging your money.
We help investors take their portfolios from 2 or 3, 5 properties maybe, up to 15, 20, 50 properties if that's what they're wanting to.
Really, the sky's the limit. And we help investors scale their portfolio.
For our free weekly live trainings that we do over there on Facebook. Thanks for...
Hey guys, it's Corey from Investor Life, and Tiffany just stuck out her tongue at me. Okay.
Yeah, that was a bad rendition. But guys, today, what wrecks people in real estate? We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to make sure that it doesn't happen to you.
Welcome back, everybody. Taking Action April. We're getting started with that. Hope everybody is doing well. Nice to see you, Chris, joining us. Karina and Cindy, great to see you. Jules here as always, ready to support. And I know there's more of you coming on. So welcome to our topic. And this is a good one because this is the time of year, we're getting close to that spring market. What do a lot of investors do? What do a lot of homeowners that are selling kind of plan to do? And that's usually, buying and selling happens more in the spring than any other time of year in most markets in Canada. And so there's a lot of activity that happens and things get ramped up. The snow is starting to melt away and activity really starts to occur. But what can stop us from taking action? What is stopping you maybe right now from taking action on your first or maybe your next investment property? We're going to get down to the nitty gritty on that and try to find some solutions to some of the more common things that hold people back. And so I'm hoping that you guys can throw in the comments maybe a little feedback for me as we go through our evening tonight. So Crystal from Red Deer, Cindy from Edmonton, Sean and Andrea from Oshawa. The Foys are here from Thornhill. Great to have you guys. Lisa from Cape Breton. So all across the country, welcome guys to our Taking Action April. Let's get started. I have a question for you. Throw it in the chat, okay? What right now is holding you back from your next investment property? Okay, I want you to think about that. You might need a second to think about that, but what is holding you back right now from buying your next investment property? I want you to throw it in the chat. We're going to give a minute for this because I've obviously heard a lot of reasons as to what holds people back. Dealing with thousands of clients as a realtor, obviously dealing with hundreds of investors in Fearless here and in our Ignited program, etc. And there's certain things that do hold people back, but I want to hear it from you. So throw it in the chat. Thanks again, everybody, for saying hello as you come on. Great to see everyone from Windermere to Saskatoon, Kelowna. Great to have you guys. But what's holding you back? I'm going to go through 7 different reasons and plus the ones that you guys bring up, and we're going to try to find a solution for them, okay? One of the more common things that we see that hold people back from taking action. Number 1 is analysis paralysis. Have you heard of that before, guys? I'm sure you have. You know, when it comes to maybe buying an investment property, we are analyzing all the numbers. We're analyzing the numbers of the market. We might be doing some research on it. We might be looking for the perfect fit, the perfect property where everything, you know, you're looking for the A-class neighborhood with maybe the A-class type of tenants. You're looking for the cheapest priced available, the highest rent that you can get on that property, and maybe trying to make the numbers work if they don't work. But analysis paralysis. Have you ever been stuck in that? Let me know in the chat. Okay. If you have been, this is very common. All right. And so we're going to talk for a minute about each of these things and what we can do to get over that. So if you've ever found yourself to be stuck in analysis paralysis, in other words, you're analyzing everything and, you know, you just can't find something that seems to work. You do need to remember that there is no perfect property out there. And it's okay to go ahead with something that might not tick every single box. We would rather get one step ahead instead of sitting back and doing nothing. And one of the things that will help you with when it comes to analysis paralysis or getting stuck analyzing is having a strong team around you. So, you know, you can get your opinions from your property managers, get opinions from your realtors, get opinions from other investors that are investing in that market. What are they doing? What kind of properties are they buying? You know, are they running the numbers the same way as you? Maybe your rent numbers are too conservative, or maybe you're not counting on, you're not negotiating the price down enough, or who knows what it might be. There's a lot of different reasons why the numbers on our spreadsheet might look different than the numbers on somebody else's spreadsheet. And because we can't make it look perfect, we don't do anything. We miss out on some market appreciation. We're missing out on mortgage pay down. Maybe we want an X number of cash flow and we're not finding that, but we're missing out on every other way that real estate makes money. So analysis paralysis is kind of a very common starting spot where, especially those that are new and haven't maybe bought too many properties yet, get stuck analyzing everything. So we don't want you to do that, guys. We want you to reach out to your team, reach out to other investors investing in that market, get their opinions, find out what they're doing. And that's where networking, this is going to be a common theme throughout our evenings tonight, networking and getting opinions from others, other investors, other people here in Fearless. For example, what is it that they're finding or buying out there? How are they finding these properties? Start asking the questions, and that can help you get over that analysis paralysis. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. So that's number 1. We got 7 on my list, and we're also going to go through whatever you guys have here. Okay, so Cindy, I need to find a financial partner. What can I do to secure myself? Okay, so Cindy, you are looking for a financial partner. All right. And that's another thing that holds us back. Maybe we don't have the funds to do it on our own, and we're needing to partner with somebody. That was the case for me and Tiffany when we got started. We needed to find partners in order to buy the properties. So that's a common thing that holds people back from taking action, from buying that next property, is finding that financial partner. So Cindy, one of the things that I would suggest for you is, you know, let's work a little bit on your credibility package. Let's make sure that the properties that you are offering out there makes sense for other investors to come in, whether their returns are going to look good, and make sure we're presenting that in the right way. And of course, we can work along with you on that in our laser sessions. No money, says another Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is. That holds us back. Same kind of thing as what Cindy's saying. I need a financial partner. I don't have the funds to do it myself right now in this particular time. Sometimes doubt creeps in, Tina. Tina says, can I really do this? Maybe we're doubting ourselves a little bit. Maybe we're doubting the market a little bit. Maybe we're doubting the fact whether I can find a financial partner or not. Maybe we've tried for a while to find a financial partner and we haven't been able to, or it hasn't worked out. So what are some things we can do to help in those situations? Obviously, networking, building your team around you, getting to have coffee with other investors, going to other investor meetings, being a part of this right here, what we're doing right now, guys, asking questions, we get answers, it helps us to move forward. So doubt and fear holds back a lot of people. That's why we created this group, guys. That's why we named it Fearless Real Estate Investors, because if you're learning the steps, and if you commit to actually learning, showing up and learning, getting your questions answered when you are getting stuck, you will be able to do it. It isn't rocket science, guys. This is fairly simple to buy a property, maybe to find a financial partner. These are actually fairly simple things to do if we are following the system properly. So what we need to do, and Cindy, maybe it'd be good to book a one-on-one or something like that, or we can talk about this in our laser session. There's certain things that we can do to make sure that we are still taking that action. We are still moving forward. And that's what we are doing here in Fearless and in our Ignited program as well. Sean says, creative financing like AFS is an option. Absolutely. So maybe the way we negotiate a deal with a vendor, with a seller, might need to change if we're having difficulty finding a financial partner. They can become our financial partner, or we can get an agreement for sale type of situation. There's so many different avenues we can go down versus just buying normally, putting 20% down of our own money. There's other ways we can do it. And so maybe it's learning new strategies, as Sean is mentioning here. Welcome, Hermel, all the way from Moncton, a Monctonian. Is that what you're called? All right. Good. 18 degrees here in Edmonton. Yes, it's a warm one here today. Chris says, the sale of my primary residence is holding me back, as I have to determine our next location in which to purchase in 2025. I will seek assistance. Absolutely, Chris. And I know you've asked a lot of questions about that so far. You've been pointed in certain directions so far, so you are still taking action. So that's good, Chris. It might seem slow at times, but one foot in front of the other, and you are getting closer to what you're trying to do here. Cindy, what do I get first, financial partner or a property? Okay, so Cindy, that's a very easy question for me to answer. In fact, we have the answer to that, a full video on that in the membership site, and it's what comes first, financial property or the partner. So just search that up. It's under the FAQ section. But the simple answer to that is you usually get a financial partner first. But then, the question is if I get a financial partner, how am I going to get them to commit if I don't have a property? And so what we usually suggest in that case is to find a sample property. Find something similar to what you would go out and buy. So let's say your niche is maybe half duplexes in Calgary. Let's just say that's what it is. I want to buy a half duplex in Calgary. They're $300,000, let's say, and they rent for $2,500 a month. They cash flow a few $100 a month. They're new, one tenant, and nice, easy peasy. Okay, and then I can duplicate that because there's 1.5 million half duplexes out there that I can just duplicate this over and over and over again. So maybe that's it. And of course, this can apply to whatever property you choose. But when you find something that is a sample or similar to what other properties out there are like, if you're trying to find a one-off, yeah, that's a little more difficult. But if you find something that is repeatable, maybe it's a house with a suite. Maybe it's a half duplex with a suite, and you start out with that. Maybe it's a fourplex with suites. Who knows what it is, but kind of choose something that, okay, there's one here, there's one there, there's one there. I have multiple options of these types of properties. They all kind of rent for about the same amount of money. They all kind of sell for about the same amount of money. They're all in similar type neighborhoods. This is the type of property that I want to buy. Well, now we do an analysis on that. We put it into our cash flow sheet. We create our executive summary, all of which is in the membership site there, guys. And once you have all of that, okay, now that's what you're presenting to a financial partner along with your credibility package. You're now saying, okay, here's me and what I bring to the table in your credibility package. And you're saying, these are the types of properties that we're going out there to get. This is how the numbers work. This is what your returns could potentially look like based on mortgage pay down, equity appreciation, X percentage, cash flow, etc. Okay, does that make sense? So find something that is somewhat repeatable, a property that you would want to buy. Use that as a sample and say, hey, this is what I'm going out there to get. If I found something like this, would you be in? We then secure our financial partner. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm good for something like that. You go out there and do the work. That's what our financial partner wants us to do. You find that property, you negotiate it, and let's get this deal done. Okay, so that's usually the way that it works the best. I will say hi to Tiff, George. Absolutely. Sarah, what did one spreadsheet say to another at the bar? Are we on the same tab? Oh my goodness. There's Sarah. Good joke, Sarah. Unbelievable. All right. There's ignited joke of the day from Sarah Rochford. Awesome. Sean says, if you have one rental property and are stuck, sell 50% to a partner and buy again. Absolutely, guys. This is a number one way for people to get started that maybe have a property already, is sell a percentage in the property that you already have. The mortgage is already done, right? It might already be rented to tenants. You have fixed numbers. You can now say to somebody, this is exactly what it's performing like, instead of what it potentially could perform like. You're saying, this is what it performs like. You give me the money down that I put into the property, and we split it 50-50, any of the gains going forward. There's so many different ways you can do this, guys. We don't want you to be getting stuck. Okay, so this is where I'm asking you, and continue to put it in the chat, guys. What is holding you back from your next investment purchase? Okay, throw it in the chat and we'll try to address it. So we talked about analysis paralysis. We talked about not having enough funds. That was actually number 2 on my list, or not having a financial partner. Something that holds people back as well is not having a team yet. And what I mean by that is they haven't made a solid connection with a realtor that's bringing them good deals, or bringing them off-market deals, or finding properties for them. They're spending maybe too much time, and this ties in with analysis paralysis, maybe spending too much time trying to find it all on their own, trying to do it all on their own. And we don't want you guys to do that. It doesn't cost anything for a realtor to search for a property for you and to do all that work for you. That's what they're there for. That's what they want to do. You know, assuming that you're going to go out and actually buy something, they want to work for you and find that. And the investor-focused realtors, the ones that we teach you to work with, those are the ones that are going to bring you maybe off-market deals. Or, you know, investor A over here is wanting to sell for one reason or another, and there's tenants in it already. We know the numbers. Well, it can go from one investor to another. And that's the vast majority of what we did when I was a realtor. Okay, what else? So not having a team. So let's just finish that one. What do we have to do to make sure that we have a team? Well, that comes with maybe asking for suggestions from others here in Fearless or in Ignited. If you need a realtor in a particular market, what realtors are other investors using? Start asking those questions. You need a mortgage broker. We have Sean Impey here within our group, and Keith Youth as well. So we have mortgage brokers here, guys, that are here, that work with investors, that can help you with. Sean is here answering a lot of questions already. He's here. He's not getting paid to do this. He's here answering questions for you, guiding you in the right way. And if your mortgage broker is doing that, they're going to find other ways for you to get funds sometimes that you maybe never even thought of. So building up that team, getting a mortgage broker in place, getting a realtor in place, those are probably the two most important team members that you're going to need. Okay. And if you're not managing it yourself, you're going to need a property manager. Do you have those people? Once you've had them, think about this. If you're trying to decide what kind of property works well in my market, I'm not quite sure. Do you think going to a property manager and asking them might be a good idea? If you say to a property manager, if I brought you properties that were easy to manage, what's your favorite property to manage, the easiest to fill a vacancy with? Do you think they're going to steer you the wrong direction? No. Well, if they want their job to be as easy as possible, right? So go ask the property managers, what kind of properties should I be looking for in this particular market? And they're going to start to steer you in that right direction. That takes out some of that analysis paralysis. So start building up that team and having these conversations with your team members. Somebody here says, and I'm not sure who it is, but lack of guidance, that holds people back. And we've covered 3 so far. Lack of guidance, I have written down as maybe not educated enough, or that could also tie in with not having your team built yet. Not knowing who to listen to for advice. All of those things definitely play a big part in holding a lot of people back. Maybe they don't want to take the action because they heard an opinion from somebody, oh, you should go and buy over there, or you should go and buy this type of property or that type of property. And then somebody says the opposite thing, right? Who do we listen to? What do I do? I'm confused. What does a confused mind say? Says no, and you don't take action. So this is where it comes down to, again, just asking questions from people around you. Ask questions for those that are successful here within our group. Maybe make a post. Hey guys, I'm being held back right now because I'm not quite sure about this. I don't quite know, why is this a good market to invest in? Or why is this a good type of property? Or am I running my numbers correctly? And these are the kinds of questions that we answer a lot within our laser sessions in our Ignited program. And that's really what it's for. But even if you're not an Ignited member, guys, you can use this group here in Fearless to be asking these questions of other Fearless members. Crystal, that is so much easier said than done. I have 2 properties I would sell 50% of to a partner, but I don't quite know how to do that yet. So Crystal, I guess my question would be, are those 2 properties, are they your flip properties, your BRRRRs that you're doing, or are these properties that you already have an established mortgage on? And all somebody needs to do is put money down. So that would be my next question is, yes, it's more difficult. You're bringing on a partner. So maybe you already own the property. Maybe you've done a renovation on it. But somebody who comes in still needs to put some money down and still needs to qualify for a mortgage. That does hold a lot of people back at times. But if they don't have to qualify for a mortgage and they just invest their funds somewhere, that becomes so much easier to fill than trying to find somebody that can do both. So that would be my question for you. Karen says, how to decide on which city to invest in. How to decide on which city to invest in. So again, analysis paralysis, right, Sharon? A little bit. So we usually suggest connecting with, my suggestion for you, Sharon, would be connecting with investor-focused realtors in 2, 3, or 4 different cities and asking them what is working right now and why is this particular city a good one to invest in. Get them to give you their sales spiel, so to speak, on why that city is good. Why is now a good time to be buying there? And that will really help to establish, what kind of properties could I be getting? What are the numbers going to look like if I buy a property in that particular city? Now you start getting them to send you already analyzed properties. And now you look at them and you compare which one looks better than the other. And of course, Sharon, when you get to that point where you're comparing and maybe you've nailed it down to 2 or 3 different options, bring that into the Ignited group, Sharon, and we will help you with that as well. Maybe give you some opinions there. Yes, you're right. I'm not sure who said it, but people in this group have no problem referring and sharing resources. It's awesome. Guys, this is not something where we're all competing against each other. This is something where we're all trying to help one another. And if we go into it thinking that way, when we have people maybe posting things that are, we've had posts in Fearless that are like, oh, stock market trader or doing this or stuff that we get rid of those. Okay, they're completely removed. The people that are in Fearless, for the most part, are there to try to help you, and they're trying to learn as well. Okay, so if we're trying to help others try to help us. When a tide rises, all boats go up at the same time. And so that's the whole outlook of making this work and removing that fear. Okay, Crystal says they're BRRRR properties that already have mortgages on. So you have, will your investors, Crystal, be needing new mortgages on those BRRRRs, or you already have the completed BRRRR mortgage on? If you already have that, let's see, you also said, I'm open to learning both options, someone else qualifying for a mortgage or me continuing to hold the mortgage and having a money partner. Yeah, I think if you have the option, Crystal, to hold the mortgage and somebody just puts the money down, that would be the number one thing I would have on my advertisements, guys, is just, no mortgage qualification needed. Put X amount of dollars down and your dollars are at work in my property. Simple JV agreement, done. Facebook user Sarah says here, I have one rental property and I want to scale. Excellent. So that kind of goes back to the strategy we were talking about earlier. Maybe you could joint venture that one property. Bring a partner on for that one property. So let's say it's a $500,000 property. You have a $400,000 mortgage. You put $100,000 down. Okay. Let's not worry about closing costs, all those other things right now. Let's say your closing costs and everything was $10,000. So you put $110,000 in, $400,000 mortgage, $500,000 property. What can somebody do? If you already have the mortgage on that property, you already own it. They give you the $110,000 and now you own that 50-50. Now you have that $110,000 back. It's just like selling the property, kind of. You get all your money back out of it. And now you go out and you do the same thing again. Okay, that's how you can start to scale. And then you do that once, you do that twice, you do that 3 times. And at the same time, you're having some potential financial partners also qualify for mortgages and put money down. And now your portfolio can start to really roll and take off. It's a combination of doing different strategies all at the same time. I find that most people are on schedules that I'm not on and they need structure to operate, whereas I don't. Then they get frustrated. They don't act as fast as they would like me to. Okay. I'm not sure who said that, but maybe the schedules are different. And they need structure to operate, whereas I don't. Yeah. So here's the thing. If somebody is going to invest in you, they need to feel confident that there's structure there for sure, that their money is safe. And so if they're not getting responses back, and this all comes down to then setting expectations up front. So the expectations are, I'll get back to you within 24 hours, within 48 hours, whatever it might be. Send me an email. An expectation that I have for the most part in my business, and those who work with me in my business know I am available by text or email. My phone, the ringer is never on. I never have it on. I never turn it on. I don't think it's ever been on this phone. I don't even know what it sounds like. So the expectation that those that I work with know is that they will text me or they'll email me. I check my phone frequently, and I will return it once I've looked at it. Okay, so they're not expecting me to answer the phone. And so setting those expectations up front can definitely make a big difference. If you say, this is the way I work, and I know it, it doesn't fit everybody's schedule, but you send me a quick email, for example, or send me a text, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Set those expectations up front. One of the things that we found as well, so we've covered analysis paralysis, guys. We've covered maybe not having enough funds, or maybe not having a financial partner, not having a team of professionals yet. Another one here is maybe trying to time a market. We see this often, is that, maybe it's, oh, well, is now a good time to buy? I get that question all the time from some of my friends and family that aren't, in the investment world. And they're asking me, is now a good time? Is now a good time? Should I do this? Should I do that? Or should I wait another month? Or should I wait 2-3 months? Or should I wait 6 months? Or next year, it's going to be better next year? Should I wait for interest rates to come down? Should I do this? Should I do that? Trying to time interest rates, trying to time the market. And what happens is, because they're trying to time everything, they don't do anything. One of my really good friends has been asking me this question for 5 years now. Do you think that he wish he would have bought something 5 years ago? Would have been better off if he bought something 5 years ago? Absolutely. So trying to time things, whether it's interest rates, whether it's market prices, whether it's whatever, is usually not going to work out in your favor, because what happens is, the only time a market has hit its peak, the only time it's hit its peak is when it's already on its way down. Same thing with the bottom, right? The only time a market has hit the bottom is when it's on its way back up. Then okay, the bottom was back there, or the top was back there. So trying to time it, it's almost impossible to time it properly. And for those that say, oh, I can do it, I doubt it. That's right, Sean. Time in the market, not timing the market. Absolutely. Thanks, Jules, for sharing that link. There's a free mini course that we have, guys. It's called Real Estate Let's Get Started. And we talk about how to analyze a market, how to analyze a neighborhood, how to analyze a property within that neighborhood. We talk about raising capital, the important parts such as leverage, and things like that, understanding those concepts, so that when you are talking to somebody, you are able to explain it properly. And so there's some really good concepts within that course. It takes about 2-3 hours to get through, guys. Click the link there. It's absolutely free. And then that can probably answer a lot of your questions that you might have. A lot of the things we're covering today are actually within that course. So thanks for sharing that, Jules. One other thing I'll mention too, guys, is what are the dates again, Jules? I think it's May 10, 11, and 13 is our next upcoming boot camp, guys. We talk here about analysis paralysis. We're going to help you analyze properly. Not having the funds, not having a money partner. We talk about raising capital. Not having a team yet. We're going to be introducing you to team members. Everything we're going to be talking about tonight, guys, we cover for the most part in our boot camp. So join us. Our early bird is on until April the 20th. So another 18 days left of our early bird. It's 50% off. And Jules just shared the link there. So feel free to register. Join us there in our boot camp. It's on Zoom. You can ask questions. You will not leave that boot camp without a question answered. Okay. And it's going to be, early bird pricing ends April 23rd. There we go. Okay. So it was a little off on my dates, but there we go. April 23rd is when it ends. So just click the link, register. It's $97 because it's 50% off right now. So there you go. Okay, so let's move on. What else do we find holds people back from taking action? Not being educated enough. And that, again, ties into what Sharon mentioned earlier. Maybe not knowing which market or how to do the research for a market, or maybe you feel like you don't know enough. And here's the thing, guys, is this ties in as well with analysis paralysis, is you don't have to know everything if you have a team around you. There was many offers we went into, many negotiations we did, many creative strategies that we did and are doing. We don't have to have the answers to everything. If our lawyer does, if our accountant does, if our realtor does, if our home inspector does, or a property manager, or a mortgage broker. So, if you're asked a question or you don't know the answer to something, reach out to your team members and get educated. They're going to help you get the answers to those questions. Here's another thing that holds people back from taking action, and that is other people's opinions. How many of you have been maybe close to taking action, but then maybe a family member or a coworker or somebody like that, maybe a spouse, puts a lot of doubt in your mind, starts asking you questions maybe you don't know the answers to, maybe starts creating some doubt because, oh, what about interest rates, or what about this, what about that? And so sometimes getting opinions from other people that aren't educated in the real estate market or aren't educated in the investment market can start to sway us from not taking action. We hold back from doing anything. We hold back from maybe putting in that offer or buying that property because of fear of ridicule or what other people might think. When we first got started, that's kind of what it was too, is a lot of people really said, well, why? This was back in 2005, 2004. Why are you buying in Edmonton? That's ridiculous. You should be buying here. You should be buying there. Not that they're wrong, but are we glad we bought in Edmonton and we didn't really listen to all of those opinions? Yes, we are. Absolutely. I still have my family telling me I'm crazy for doing this. Yes, absolutely. Fritzy, some of my friends think I'm crazy. I think we've all been there. Once we get started into real estate investment, it's like, what are you getting yourself involved in? Because it's not everybody does it, right? But if we educate ourselves, this is the point. If we educate ourselves, if we are listening to, for example, we're listening to the real estate course, or we're listening to podcasts that are real estate related, or you're showing up here every single week for our Fearless Tactical Tuesday. This entire month, we're going to be talking about taking action. That's the whole point of this. If maybe you're a part of a mentorship group, if you're joining us at our boot camp, if you're doing all of these things, guys, and you're surrounded by people's opinions that are educated, that have done this successfully, that have made mistakes and learned from them, that's where a lot of that doubt starts to creep away. Okay, when you see the successes of others, when you see some of the mistakes that others have made and you learn from those, that's where a lot of that doubt and that fear starts to be removed. Family is where, yeah. So a lot of you have felt that, other people's opinions. People are wary, and here's the thing, guys, is they're probably just trying to save us from making a mistake. How many Ponzi schemes are out there, or maybe pyramid schemes, or whatever it might be. And people are, oh, don't get involved in that. Don't get involved in that. They kind of maybe lump real estate investment into the same way of thinking. But at the end of the day, guys, if you're buying a piece of real estate and you're holding on to it and it covers itself, its income covers its expenses, and you do nothing else other than pay that mortgage off and hold that property for 20 years, 25 years till that mortgage is paid off, you now have a paid off asset that is making you money on a monthly basis, that has almost guaranteed gone up in value, maybe doubled, tripled in value, who knows? How can you go wrong? As long as you're buying right, as long as you're educating yourself, as long as you are surrounding yourself with people that have answers to your questions. See, this is where it all ties in, guys. Yeah. Okay, George. I can hear my late mother say, why are you involved in real estate? Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so here's another thing, guys, that keeps people away from getting involved or taking action is that maybe they don't have enough time. Are you that way? It is time consuming. You know, all the things that we've been talking about here, doing analysis, maybe raising capital and networking with other investors and meeting with other investors and meeting your team and your mortgage broker and your realtor or your property manager, you know, doing market research, taking some education, listening to stuff and making sure that you understand the lingo, all of those sorts of things. That takes time to do. Maybe you feel like you don't have the time to do that. And that's where a lot of our financial partners come from, is they're the ones that don't have the time to educate themselves and to build their team, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's where then you guys, those that do have the time, can come in and fill that need. If you don't have the time, but you do have the money, that's where you become the financial partner. Okay, so now what if you don't have the time and you don't have the money? Well, is it going to be more difficult? Obviously, yes, it is. Because we kind of have to add something, right? We have to bring something to the table when it comes to a real estate investment. And so we do need to either put in the time or bring the money. Those are the two main factors that need to be involved. So then it maybe comes down to, where are we spending our time? And where we're spending our time, is it productive for us? Is it getting us farther ahead? Are we spending 2 hours a day scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, where we could be maybe doing some of this research, or maybe doing some of this education, maybe doing some of these meetings with potential investors or with team members? So where are we spending our time, and is it the most valuable place to be spending our time? Could be some questions that we could ask ourselves. As an active investor, yes, Crystal, it's definitely like another job. Absolutely. And you work full time, right? And you're still doing, and Crystal, you're doing, from what I've seen, properties that also require work, you know, renovations, et cetera, et cetera. And so then that takes even more time on top of, you know, just maybe buying something that's turnkey. So time can be a definite factor in the decisions we make. And so, you know, this is where we start to look around and say, okay, well, maybe my focus should be on properties that don't take so much time. You know, maybe we go to something more turnkey, or maybe we get a builder to build stuff for us, or maybe we start looking at different things. And so, you know, this is where all of us we're all individual in how much time we have to put towards this stuff, how much money we have to put towards this stuff, how much time we have to get educated, et cetera, et cetera. We're all different. And so we have to make those decisions ourselves. Okay, guys, so we talked tonight about 7 main things that hold people back from taking action. But we also talked about how you can get over those things. So we're going to do a quick recap. Number 1 was analysis paralysis. Nothing's going to be perfect, guys. Just do something. Just do it. Number 2, not enough funds. Start thinking about maybe different strategies, or start networking with other investors, or join a mentorship group that will help you to raise capital. No team yet. Start meeting some people in the market you want to invest in, and start getting them to send you their opinions and their research. That will help you get educated. That will help you grow team members. That will help you create relationships with the team members you need, your realtors, your mortgage brokers, etc. Trying to time a market. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Just get in, as Sean mentioned. It's about time in the market. Not educated enough? Educate yourselves, guys. We offered a free course here. We have a boot camp coming up for $97, middle of May. Get in now, register, and you're going to get the education you need. And we will be presenting their options into our Ignited program, which can further that education if you want to as well. Other people's opinions, family members. I heard a lot of commenting on that. Holds people back. So rely on the opinions of those that are doing this successfully and find out how they're doing it, and then copy it, duplicate it. Okay, this is not something you need to create the wheel for. This is something that just works if you follow a system. And not enough time. So evaluate, where am I spending my time and how could I better spend it? Those are the things, guys, that hopefully some of those things there maybe might have hit a chord with you, or maybe it was something that was preventing you from taking action. For those of you that are Ignited members and maybe made a comment in here, by all means, make sure that those questions are asked in our laser session. That's what it's for. For those of you that don't know what that means, every single Tuesday after this Tactical Tuesday, we go into our laser session on Zoom with all of our Ignited members, and everyone has the opportunity to get any question they have answered when it comes to real estate investment. And it's not just answers from me, it's answers from everyone else within the group, because there's so much experience and knowledge within our group. Heather, we switched strategies and lean into faster cash, and it's been busy and fun. Don't be afraid to take a leap. There you go. So you know what? Find a strategy that does work for you, that you have the time for, that can maybe get you faster cash. Absolutely, Heather. That's awesome. And you guys are doing some pretty cool things down in Florida, I think it is, right? That's awesome. Okay, guys, so we're going to leave it there tonight. That's our start for our Taking Action April. Okay, don't let those things that might be holding you back stop you from taking action. Just go out there and start doing some of this stuff. Start educating yourself, start meeting team members. Just get out there and do it. You know, maybe mark on your calendar, even if it's a half an hour a week, I'm going to set aside some time to get some of this stuff done. You're out walking the dog, or you're driving to work, or whatever it might be, put on some earphones and listen and educate yourself. Here within this group, we have tons of hours of trainings that we've done here within this group that you can access. These are all the things that keep you going forward, guys. We don't want you getting stuck. We want this month for you to be taking action. We want you to be farther ahead by the end of April than you are today when it comes to your real estate investment business. Okay. And just a last reminder for everybody that our boot camp is May 10, 11, and 13. All the information is at that link that Jules sent there, and it is 50% off with our early bird. So would be love to have you at our next boot camp. They're a lot of fun. That's it for tonight, guys. We will see all of our Ignited members. Actually, Ermel is hosting our laser session tonight, the first laser of every month Ermel hosts, and it is multifamily focused. And so that is tonight. So he will be the host. So have a great evening, everybody. And we'll see all of our Ignited members over in laser. Take care, guys. Have a great week.